Yes guys, it's FPL Guy here and welcome back to the FPL Guy YouTube channel. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now in today's video, there's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about all the upcoming double game weeks, blank game weeks, literally to the end of the season. There's going to be a blank or double in every single game week. So it's going to get very hectic and very interesting. So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about how game week 23 went now that it's finally over. And we'll obviously talk about game week 24, my team selection, my plans and my chip strategy going forward. So there's a lot to cover. And before we do that, yeah, what do you guys think of the graphics? I've changed literally everything, even the thumbnails have changed. Let me know your thoughts about them down in the comment section. Sort of going through and explaining it, you can see on the right hand side, there's a couple of icons. Those are essentially my talking points that I'm going to go through in the video. If they're grayed out as they currently are, that just means that I'm yet to talk about them. If they pop up and they become a bit bigger and they're white colored, that means that I'm currently talking about it. And if they're green and small, that means I've already talked about it. Now obviously you'll see that as the video progresses, I'll be using that in today's video. So let me know what you guys think of this idea. I'm happy to modify it. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. And I'll probably put a small snippet of this video on my Twitter and Instagram. So hey guys, if you're watching this on Instagram or Twitter, then click the link to the channel, come to the channel and let me know what you guys think of the new graphics. If you like what you see, a sub to the channel would be amazing. If not, give me some feedback. I'm happy to change it around, happy to change my videos, the style, to whatever you guys prefer. So do let me know. And with that being said guys, let's jump into the first segment and see how Game Week 23 went. So we came out of Game Week 23 with 43 points. I did take a -4, so 39 points. Obviously, not the best in terms of a general game week, but considering how the game week did go, I'm very happy with 39 points. Came out with a game week rank of 1.9 million and an average of 35 points. So seeing, a lot of teams on Twitter and Instagram and how they perform, 39 points, I'll take it. I'll take that any day of the week. Considering, obviously, the Watford game, we'll obviously talk about that in just a moment. In terms of my team, the two players that I did bring in this game week was White and De Bruyne, and luckily they both returned, both with 8 points, the two highest scorers in my team. And obviously Jota got that lucky assist. I mean, debatable if it was lucky or not, but at the end of the day, he did get that assist. And apart from those three players, everybody else blanked. Now, the biggest talking point here, I guess, is going to be King and Dennis. I did obviously consider them. They had a very nice double game week against Norwich and Burnley. The main reason I ended up avoiding them was, well, with all due respect, they are Watford at the end of the day. Now, obviously, no one could have seen the red card coming, and that was, I guess, very lucky. I was very lucky that I didn't even own him. For anyone who had him or even captained him, that is just incredibly unlucky. And I guess you just have to look past it now. You have to move on. Game week 24 is here. There's a lot of blanks and doubles to navigate through. A lot of good chance to, boost up the ranks now. In terms of my team, I captained De Bruyne. The other option I was going to do was Trent. You can see I put him as my vice. Luckily I didn't, and I went with De Bruyne, got the 8 points. He got an assist and I think a couple of bonus points, as did White. He got the clean sheet and a couple of bonus points, so I'm very happy with that. And overall, not the best game week, but again, not the worst, so I'm very happy with that. And very, very lucky I avoided King and Dennis. Yeah, with that being said guys, let's have a look at the Game Week 24 team and what my plans are for that. So this is how Game Week 24 is going to look like for me. This is my 11 starting players. Now I do have Mo Salah and I actually kept him throughout the period where he was away. And fingers crossed he plays against Leicester, because that's obviously my biggest decision right now, what to do with Salah. But considering I've kept him for, throughout the period, I think I'm just going to keep him anyway, even if he doesn't play against Leicester. Now I think the latest is that Klopp did mention both Mane and Salah should be ready for the Leicester game. But realistically, I don't think Klopp's going to risk it, and he's probably not going to play. And maybe even the Burnley game, it's only 3 days later. So there's a small chance he also misses the Burnley game. But fingers crossed he at least plays the Burnley game. In my opinion, he misses Leicester but comes back for Burnley. So that's my prediction. But if he plays Leicester, I'm not complaining, to be honest. He's in my team. He's going to start in my team. So fingers crossed for that. Let's start off from the back. Guaita against Norwich. The previous game that they had against Norwich, they kept a clean sheet, so fingers crossed we can duplicate that and he does the same. In terms of my defense, I would have Cancelo, Trent and Davies. All three are pretty good fixtures. Trent, against against Leicester could be a little bit tricky. They may concede, but we know what Trent can do in terms of going forward and providing those assists. So obviously that's a no-brainer. The other option I have on my bench would be White. Obviously against Watford at home for West Ham is a better fixture, but it looks like Soufal has taken up that right back spot and he looks pretty confident in that position. So Johnson, he looks like he's going to be benched again. So that just leaves White, which I have second on my bench. I could also play him, and if I do, that would be over Davies. But I think Southampton at home would be a better fixture than Wolves away. Although I do like Arsenal's defense more, so that is still something I am considering swapping these two players around. But we'll see what happens. At the moment, it's Davies, just because I think he is slightly more attacking. In terms of the midfield, we have De Bruyne. Now I got him in last week. He got a good amount of points, and hopefully he can duplicate that and return again in game week 24. We have Bowen against Watford at home. Great fixture. He's doing really well at the moment. He did play 90 minutes in the FA Cup, so he's been playing 90 minutes consistently pretty much every single game that's coming. So let's see what happens against Watford. Does he even start? He should be starting. Hopefully he does get, 70 plus minutes, let's say. Then we have Jota against Leicester at home. Now they did sign another midfielder who could obviously take up Jota's space, or not really take over his position, but there could be some rotation there. For the time being, we still have Jota in the team. Then we have Gray against Newcastle away. Great fixture, but Everton, they look really out of shape. Let's see how let's see how Lampard can change it up, and hopefully the attack can definitely improve under Lampard, and hopefully both Gray and Calvert-Lewin can step up their game. And obviously I've spoken about Salah. Fingers crossed he starts, but realistically I'm not really seeing him playing in this Leicester game. Then finally up front we have both Antonio and Calvert-Lewin. Antonio against Watford at home, great fixture, really happy with that. Now with Calvert-Lewin, he is flagged at the moment. He did miss out the FA Cup game, which was yesterday. I am recording this on Sunday, so there's a chance he still plays against Newcastle, and if that is the case, then I will probably just keep Calvert-Lewin, to be honest. I'm not going to waste a transfer when he's playing against Newcastle away. Now, if he is still injured, and he's not ready for the Newcastle game, that is when I will look to move him on. So let's go ahead and talk about my potential transfer options. So obviously, if Calvert-Lewin is out, I'm going to remove him. And I'm going to be considering someone like Edouard. Now, the other option that I was thinking of is Ollie Watkins. The reason why I'm favouring Edouard over Watkins is just because of that additional fixture he has in game week 26. Although it is actually Chelsea, which is obviously going to be a tough game, I'll still take those extra 2 points in game week 26. The other game is against Watford away, which is obviously great, and all the fixtures around that are superb for Crystal Palace. So having Edouard, who is playing, or at least starting every single game, is a good sign. Whether he gets 90 minutes every game is a different question. We can see the last two games he did get subbed off just before 70 minutes. Previously he has been playing 90 minutes, so I'm pretty sure he will be starting. It's just a question of whether he gets 90 minutes. And I guess if you can get an early goal, then it's not really a big issue. And with the fixtures he has, there is a pretty good chance that he can do that. Now, if I do go ahead and compare the two players that I mentioned, Edouard and Ollie Watkins, you can see that Edouard is in the green triangle, and Ollie Watkins is in the blue. And pretty much in every department, expected goals per 90, expected assists per 90, and also shots per 90, Edouard is just about beating Watkins. And I don't know why, but I just favor Edouard anyway, even if his stats were slightly worse. But I guess the stats are also backing him, the way he's playing is backing him, and I just prefer him anyway. And he has the additional fixture, as I mentioned. So at the moment, he is the person that I am looking to bring in. And another point is, he's actually 1.2 million cheaper. So, that could be used somewhere else to upgrade your team. So this is what I'm considering at the moment. That is if Dominic Calvert-Lewin is guaranteed to be out against Newcastle. If he isn't, then there's a pretty decent chance that I just roll the transfer this game week and get 2 transfers next game week. That is also an option that I could take. So let me show you guys the upcoming team and how it's going to look like going into game week 24, 25, 26 and onwards. This is a website called FPL.team, and it's actually my first time using it. I just used it a little bit before creating the video, and it's actually very good. You can sort of see how your current team is going to look in the upcoming game week. So if you want to check it out, FPL.team, very nice website. So this is how the team is currently looking like for Game Week 24, as I showed you before. Obviously, as I said, Calvert-Lewin could become Edouard if Calvert-Lewin is not going to be playing against Newcastle. But let's assume that he's fit and he's ready, and I'm not going to use a transfer. So this is how the team is for Game Week 24. If I go next, this shows me the fixtures for the current players I have in Game Week 25. Now, obviously, we know that Arsenal's going to blank, so I'm obviously not playing white. This would be my team pretty much for Game Week 25. I have 2 free transfers in this game week, and pretty much the setup is going to be exactly the same as it was for Game Week 24, so there's not really any changes. Even maybe my captaincy could stick with De Bruyne here, but obviously we'll talk about that in just a second. The main, I guess, point here is that I have no United or Brighton players who actually do have a double. United being the main team that we could target, who's playing against Southampton and Brighton, both at home. Now, Southampton, I can see some goals for United. I can see Ronaldo, Bruno, or even Rashford, getting involved in some goals against Southampton. Whereas Brighton, I definitely see that being a lot more tight. So maybe just the 1 goal for United in that game. So I'm not really too eager to go ahead and get myself a United player. And there's not really an easy way that I can do that. So obviously if I wanted to get Bruno, I could downgrade De Bruyne. But he's got Norwich away. Do I really want to get rid of De Bruyne against Norwich? Probably not. And obviously Salah, Burnley away. And my prediction is he will be back for Game Week 25. And if that's the case, there's literally no point of me getting rid of him when I've kept him for so long. So, I mean, Ronaldo is the other option. Can I really afford him? No, I'll need to downgrade one of Salah and De Bruyne once again. I could go for maybe Dalot as one of the defenders, could get rid of White. But if I do that, I'm going to miss the double Game Week 26 that White has. They have Arsenal play Brentford and Wolves in Game Week 26, so I'm obviously going to miss that. Maybe Davies could be the one to go, or maybe Johnson if I can find the funds. Because currently, as you can see, I have only 0.1 currently sitting in the bank. So, really, that's my thought process. I'm not really looking to get a United player, and Brighton isn't really someone, that I really want to target. Maybe I could go for one of their defenders. Lamptey or Cucurella are the options, really. But honestly, I'm not really too keen on that either. If I go next and go to Game Week 26, this is where a lot of teams will double. This is how the team would look, right, if I don't make any transfers. Obviously, in this case, I would be playing White, and maybe this is debatable, but I would probably bench Cancelo. I mean, who else is there? I can't... Maybe I could bench Calvert-Lewin. I mean, it's a very big risk benching Cancelo. I'll probably put him first on my bench, but even then, it's a big risk. But I would obviously need to be playing White because he has a double. I could also bench Gray maybe. His statistics aren't the best, so maybe he could go and Cancelo could play, and I'll be playing a 4-4-2 in that case. But this is how the team will look. Now, a transfer that I could use going here is to get rid of Gray. So if I just get rid of Gray and bring in Martinelli, I'll have the funds for it as well. And then if I do that, that would mean that I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double game week players. And this is where I'll probably most likely use my triple captain chip on either Trent or Salah. Now obviously Salah's going to be the favourite here, but Trent, I could see potentially Liverpool keeping 2 clean sheets, and obviously Trent could get that odd assist or a goal in these games, and that could really boost him up the bonus points as well, and he could really do well. Obviously Salah, his statistics are much better. He's obviously more likely to score goals and potentially even get an assist, but those are the 2 main contenders for the triple captain chip for game week 26. So you can see going into game week 27 where it's a big blank, majority of my team won't be playing. If I just bring on Cancelo, we can say, and I'll bring on Johnson just in case he does play, even though I think Sufal is pretty much nailed on. I would have 1, 2, 3, let's avoid Johnson for now, 4, 5, 6, 7 players who are regular starters, and Johnson 8 if he does play. But this is the game week which I'm considering to use my free hit chip in, because a lot of my team is obviously I'll have triple Liverpool and double Arsenal. So this is the week which I would activate my free hit chip. Now, talking about my chip strategy now, as I mentioned, triple captain would be game week 26. My free hit would then be game week 27. I'd still have my second free hit as well, and that would be probably used for the blank game week coming up in game week 30. So I'll use my second free hit then. And then my wild card would be a couple game weeks after that, preparing for the double game week 36, which we are predicting to be quite a big one. And that would be the game week which I'll use my bench boost in. In terms of my wild card, I wouldn't use it just the week before. I would use it maybe 2 or 3 game weeks before, just so I can maximize my advantage and the game weeks and the fixtures that will be sort of coming up towards the end of the season. So maybe I'll use it around game week 33 or game week 34. The wild card, load up on all the double game week 36 players, and obviously looking at all the other fixtures around that game week, and I'll take it from there. That's the current thinking, guys, and that's sort of what I think is the best for my team. Obviously every team is different, and maybe you think there's a better option that I could take. Let me know in the comments if you think there's a better route I could take, and if you have any questions about your own team and chip strategy you could deploy for your team, let me know down in the comments. I'm more than happy to help out on that. So the final talking point is regarding my captaincy for game week 24. So if I go back to the FPL website, you can see currently my captaincy is on De Bruyne, and that is someone that I'm most likely to go for, to be honest. Obviously I would probably consider Salah if he was going to start, but as I mentioned previously, I don't think he will be. Although I am going to start him in my team anyway, and if he doesn't play, either Johnson or White can just come on. So yeah, captaincy would be on De Bruyne. My vice captaincy, I'll probably put it on Bowen, to be honest. You know, he's looking pretty good. Against Watford at home is a very good fixture for West Ham, and he is doing a lot better than Antonio in terms of statistically, and obviously his returns are recently been better than Antonio, so he would have my vice captain. So that's the current thinking, guys, for the game week 24 team. So there we go, guys. We'll leave it at that for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, a sub to the channel would be absolutely amazing, and a like on the video would be very much appreciated. And if you're coming from Instagram or Twitter, then let me know down in the comments. It'll be very cool to see who actually came from those platforms to watch this video. That would be amazing. And obviously let me know about the graphics. Do you really like it, or you know, do you think I could change a couple of things around? I'm more than happy to do so. And if you have any questions regarding your own teams, drop them in the comments. I will be replying to all of them, and I'm more than happy to help out. And with that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.